Hello everyone, welcome to a very autumnal Wales. The leaves have fallen, the temperature is dropping and it's cozy season. I like this time of year actually. I'm growing to love the seasons and the cold way more actually, now that I'm more connected to the outside world, and it's a chance to get so many tasks done. But many of you may know, if you follow me on Instagram, Teague and I welcomed our little baby girl into the world a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago actually now, and she was born actually in this very space, which was, my mind has been blown really. It's crazy. You can probably hear her crying in the background, but wow, my respect to women and mothers goes just on another level now, because Tegan is a warrior, really is, and thankfully after a bit of an ordeal she was born here and she's perfect. So we've just been in a bit of a whole whirlwind since she's been born actually, just trying to stay above the water and just nourish her and look after her. But Tegan's doing an amazing job. I feel like sometimes a bit of a backup dancer in these early weeks and months. I think the dad is sort of not needed as much, in a sense of the baby's attention's all for mum because she's providing the milk. But what I've been doing is making sure the house is in order, cooking, making nourishing meals, and just making sure I can give my support to them however possible I can. But I don't think anything could have prepared me for the shock and the change of lifestyle when you have a baby. It's hard, the sleep is tough, but we're getting on with it and we're getting used to it, getting into more of a routine now. And I thought actually this is like the first time filming since, well, for a number of months now. You would have known I haven't uploaded for a while. And it's weird because I spoke to someone a few months back and they said that they followed me since the start. I've been doing YouTube for 10 years now, which is crazy. So you kind of maybe have grown up with me or watched me grow, and now I'm a dad, which is nuts, absolutely nuts. I'm so grateful. I've always wanted to be a dad, and when I met Tegan I knew that it would be a possibility, because she's like my soulmate, we're like three peas in a pod now. It's perfect. But I just thought I'd share with you some of the meals that we've been eating. I must admit, gosh, finding time to cook is hard when you have a newborn. What we did is meal prep loads before baby was born, and anytime I make any food now, I'm just making vast quantities so that it can serve us throughout the following few days. My dad's been cooking food for us. Tegan's mum has been up quite a few times just helping out with the baby. And it really does take a whole community. I can hear her cry now, I just want to run and help, but grandma's there and Tegan's there, it's all sorted. But yeah, for breakfast, a lot of the time, Tegan is hungry right away. Breastfeeding actually makes mothers very hungry, I've noticed, and Tegan needs lots of meals, lots of fueling. So we tend to just go for porridge, oatmeal, and I make mine very simply on the stove top. Lots of people think you need to make porridge in the microwave. It's not true. Just get it in the saucepan, cook it a little bit slower than you think, because then it gets really nice and creamy. I just cook mine with water and a pinch of salt, and then further down the line, when it started to thicken up, I add in some milk then. I also stir through some hemp and chia seeds and some cinnamon too, all really good stuff that you want first thing in the morning. And I've been so lucky recently. Willow was born in apple season in autumn, so my neighbours have got a load of apple trees, and I've just been going and collecting as many as possible, because they said they just can't use them up, otherwise they just fall on the floor and rot. So I've been making big batches of stewed apples and popping them in the freezer. So we've been topping the oatmeal with this lovely stewed apples from the neighbour's garden. The rest of it I'll be making cider with, but I'll talk to you about that in another episode. So that's breakfast. I actually top it with some British walnuts. They're actually grown nearby in a place called Somerset, just over the border in England. And to have a British nut is so exciting, and it's made me inspired. When I have actual land, a decent amount of land, I'll plant a load of nut trees, and it means I know that I could it'll definitely help me be more sufficient self-sufficient in the sense of how many calories I can get into my diet, because you know, nuts are so calorific, such a staple. So British walnuts on top and some pumpkin seeds, and we sit down whenever we can together. Baby, you know, is there too, and Tegan's sort of eating over the top of baby is tough, or we'll put her in a little rocking chair, and sometimes we have help from like my parents or Tegan's parents. They'll take the baby, so we're very lucky in that sense. The usual. And a spot of tea. Mine too. Well, you were. After breakfast, I get on with my work or whatever is needed to be done around the house, and then around mid-morning I would heat up some pre-made frittata. I'd be making this as meal prep to keep Tegan fueled. It's made with chickpea flour and is really delicious. I start by grabbing my new chef's knife, which you can actually get your hands on now. I've made this beautiful knife with Kato. It's limited edition and there's only a few available, so click the link beneath this video if you want one. It's made with Welsh oak as the handle and the finest Japanese steel. With my beautiful knife, I finally slice a whole onion, then get a cast iron pan preheating with a little olive oil. When the pan is hot, the onions go in and I cook them for a while until they're really caramelized. And whilst they're cooking down, I make the frittata batter. Some chickpea flour with some spices like cumin, turmeric, cayenne, chili flakes. I mean, you can be really creative with what spices you can add. And to make it really fluffy, I add some baking powder and just enough water to make a thick, pourable batter. I take the onions out of the pan and then add a touch more oil before pouring in that batter, turning the pan down quite low. And then I start topping it. So the onions go in first, and then I actually steamed off some potato and some beetroot from the garden. I got this lovely rainbow beetroot. It's so sweet, so tangy, and that's a great sort of crop at this time of year that's doing really well still in the garden. So that goes on top, and I grab some kimchi from my fermentation fridge. Delicious kimchi just for that little umami-ness on top. And it goes into the oven to bake until golden for about 25 minutes or so. Again, this is something that I make in meal prep quantity, so one big one of those will last like 3 days in the fridge. And I serve it up with a little bit of hummus. I make a white bean hummus in bulk and just have it in the fridge. It lasts a week. And a little salsa verde. This recipe's in my cookbook actually. The salsa verde is made from carrot tops. It's delicious, just drizzled over the top of so many dishes, particularly this sort of frittata style dish. Tegan and I, we both don't eat eggs, so this is quite a good equivalent for something like an omelette or frittata in the mornings. Hello my girls. Second breakfast.
Thank you.
You need a lot of food for her as well, don't you?
Yeah. Hungry all the time.
Right, let's sit down then. Come on. Should we get Grandma to take Willow?
Yeah. Grandma.
Very, very light, very simple, but very delicious. Good brunch. Oh, gosh. I'm struggling to get my words out a bit because I haven't done filming for a while, so just bear with me. But the last few weeks, it's been so, this whole year has been crazy for me. I mean, I've been less consistent with the YouTube videos, and it's quite demoralizing sometimes when you put so much effort in, Tom behind the camera, myself, you know, it's when they don't do as well, it's demoralizing. But YouTube's a tough place, and I find a bit more success on the other platforms like Instagram and TikTok these days, and it's a lot easier to make those shorter videos. But I love the audience and this community that we've grown here, so I do feel a tie to you guys and keeping you updated and keeping you in the loop with things. But I'm sorry if I haven't been as consistent. Obviously now with a baby in our hands, it's even more difficult to keep every plate spinning. But I think these days, and I used to really be sort of so focused and so committed, and if a video wouldn't go up like dead on 6 on a Sunday, it would throw me right off, and I'd be really annoyed that I wasn't able to get it out on time. But nowadays I'm a bit more relaxed with things, and you know, not everything is going to be perfect. And I have found that these last few weeks, there's times where it's been a real struggle. Tegan's strength, just her, just being so motherly, and just having that instinct, and seeing her with Willow is making me try and be the best version of myself. But it is hard to run a business and be there and look after the home. It has been tough, but there's been some great moments as well. I managed to get an award for my book, Plant to Plate. I had to go to London when I took my parents along, and it won Book of the Year at an awards ceremony for Food and Drink magazine. So that was an amazing achievement. And yeah, this whole year has been ups and downs, roller coasters. The book coming out, the tour, that was intense. Tegan being pregnant, my dad being in a hospital. You know, the struggles and the perils of being on YouTube and making that the focus of your business is tough. But I'm here and I'm learning, I'm constantly growing. And we've had a lovely day a couple of weeks ago where we learned how to make willow baskets, and that is a hobby that I really want to pick up, and Tegan absolutely loved it too. And really trying to go back to the old ways. I think all I want to be able to do for my family and my baby is to be present as best as I can. And I think I need to find and strike the right balance between work and trying to make a living and trying to be whatever you call successful, with just being present, because that's what's most important to me now. So yeah, anyways, after our second breakfast, lunch, and warming foods, I've noticed Tegan really requests. Warming foods, spices, like the Ayurvedic kind of recipes and foods is so important. So lots of spices, Indian spices. Something like a dahl is what we've been eating often, and this one I made was just a red lentil dahl. Absolutely delicious, really good on an autumnal day. And I make it like a traditional dahl, very simple actually. I start off with just boiling my lentils in some water with some turmeric and some salt. And then in a separate pan, chopping up some onion and some garlic, letting those sweat down for a real good amount of time in a little olive oil before adding a chili and some chopped tomatoes. I've got like 3 or 4 tomatoes left in my greenhouse, but I pinched the rest for this recipe. I just chopped them up, add them to the pan, and add a load of spices too. I add things like turmeric, garam masala, curry powder, ground coriander, and my favorite spice, which is fenugreek. I give those spices a little bit of time to sort of toast off in the base of that pan, and that's when I get the lentils in. Always add the lentils to that sort of sauce base, because you know, you don't want to add too many lentils and dilute those flavors. Of course, I think I may have forgotten, add salt. That's very important. Salt brings out lots of flavors. And that just gets bubbled away for 15, 20, half an hour. I lose track of time at the minute. Yes. Oh, the house smells warm of spices right now. And this, look at this. That is a strange shaped squash. It's an Italian variety of squash that I grew this year. And what I'm going to do is just chop this up into little cubes, roast it and serve it with the beautiful dahl. My weird squash gets chopped and peeled and then cut into cubes. And I steam it first before getting it onto a roasting tray and into the oven for about 20 minutes or so until it's a little bit caramelized. When that dahl is cooked and it's sort of, you just need to taste it and you'll know it's ready. If it has a little bit of bitterness, then it needs to be cooked for a little bit longer. It should be bold and aromatic. I serve it up, and this makes several portions that you can just put in the fridge for meal prep. I'm actually cooking for Tom behind the camera, myself, Tegan, and Tegan's mum as well, so we'll put this on the table. But before I do that, I top it with that lovely caramelized pumpkin and some of this beautiful tempeh. It's basically just like an infused oil, which often is served with the dahl. I put things like mustard seeds, fennel, cumin, curry leaves from my greenhouse and chili in it, and it just adds that little bang to the end of the dahl. I serve it up with some steamed rice and quinoa, a nice blend, and that's like a really sort of wholesome, easy to make, great meal prep, warming meal that Tegan right now is absolutely loving. Just through winter, while she's nursing and feeding the baby, she loves that kind of food. Excited for this. Oh, baby's crying. That is good. Oh, hello, little girl. It's lunchtime for you as well. Mummy, I'm sorry, your dahl's gonna go cold now.
No, I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
Love you and leave you.
Love you and leave you.
Be back.
See you in a bizzle. I'm on my own then. This is really, really tasty. Beautifully spiced. This is really great postpartum food, I think. This, from all the research we've been doing. Very warming and perfect for this time of year. Delicious. I should mention actually, teas and our little apothecary here. You would have maybe seen a video a few months ago when I showed us building this apothecary and showing you what herbs I recommend having in there. But since baby's born, I've just realized how amazing and how resourceful and resilient I feel having this sort of almost survival kit of herbs, many of which we've grown. Some of them you can see growing behind me or hanging behind me to dry. I've got some nettle tea right now from the garden. It's absolutely delicious, and nettles historically were used to sort of treat anemia, and it's so mineral rich, it's so good for you. But Tegan has been having lots of teas as well, things that sort of help her heal, help promote breast milk as well. She's having things like milk thistle, raspberry leaf, alfalfa, and a few more, can't quite remember off the top of my head. But yeah, herbs have become even more of a thing since we welcomed baby into the world, and you know, it's something that I'm so passionate about learning, and it's helping me connect, you know, because none of this is something that I've been doing throughout my life. It's all new to me, so I haven't had lots of time to just start reading my books since baby. It's hard to find any time to read, but whenever I can absorb some more knowledge about herbalism and these older ways, the more inspired I become. This is a lovely nettle tea. Talking of really great herbs that Tegan's been relying on, I often will make her a moringa latte, And what I serve it with is some date cake. Now, we all have a bit of a sweet tooth, and this cake, I've made it so many times in the last few weeks. Oh my gosh, I know the recipe just second nature to me now. But Tegan doesn't have gluten, and we try and avoid the processed sugars. We want more natural sugars, but as I said, we do have a bit of a sweet tooth, and this hits the spot. This date cake is quite simple to make. It's very spiced. It reminds me of, well, it's actually inspired by a Welsh cake called Barrabrith, which is like a speckled tea loaf. It's really delicious with lots of spices running through it. What I actually do to make this cake is soak some pitted dates and some raisins in some boiling water with a bit of bicarb. That helps just soften the dates and raisins, and I also add some chia seeds too, because those chia seeds are going to sort of plump up and almost help everything bind together. Once the fruit is soft, it gets added to my food processor, and I add some really ripe bananas, those brown ones that you can find at the supermarket that no one wants. They're the ones we pick up for things like this. And it gets blitzed up just lightly. You don't want it to overdo it. You don't want it to be a puree. You want it to be quite chunky still, because it's really nice in the finished cake to have a few lumps of date and raisin. And then I mix together my dry ingredients, which consists of some gluten-free flour, and I also add some buckwheat flour, which adds quite a nuttiness, so I add that too, and a lot of spices. Really beautiful cinnamon, Christmassy allspice. Oh, allspice is one of my favorites. It's got that lovely Christmassy note to it. I had a pinch of ginger and nutmeg too, some sea salt and some baking powder to help everything rise. And once those dry ingredients are mixed together well, the wet mix goes in and you fold it together, and I add some olive oil at that point, because this cake, and most cakes, actually all cakes, need a bit of fattiness to help them with their rise, with their texture. Then I pour it into my lined baking tray, and it goes into the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes, something like that. Once it's golden on top, it comes out of the oven, the house smells amazing, and you just brush over some maple syrup to add a bit of a glaze. And that cake then lasts for about 5 to 6 days if you store it in the fridge. This smells incredible. And I serve that with the moringa latte pretty much every day for Tegan. She loves it. It's like an afternoon treat. Here you go, my little cherubs.
Thank you so much.
Now, I struck gold meeting Tegan and having a child with her, because she is just a real, I think she's a perfectionist, and she really does her homework on anything and everything. She puts her all into, you know, it could be anything from making a spreadsheet to writing a list, or in this case, having a baby. She's done so much research and read so many books during pregnancy and postpartum. She's got so much knowledge. It's amazing to see. I'm so inspired by her. And one thing that she learned was the 40-day rule, which is basically the first 40 days after having a baby, if you can, you just try and relax and stay still and don't overexert yourself. You don't really want to be going out too much and lifting things and walking too much. So that's what we did pretty much. I had a few commitments and work stuff. I had to leave the house. But for the first 40 days, Tegan pretty much stayed in, myself as well, and we were just sort of hibernating and just recovering. The birth experience was, you know, tough, and we needed some time to recover from it. And now we're out of those 40 days. We've been venturing out for the first time as a family, and you're sort of learning what that's like when you go out in public with a baby, getting them into the car seat, carrying them. It's but actually we've been so lucky because Willow just sleeps. And on this night we had dinner plans to go out, which is always exciting now. It's like a bit of normality, it seems. And there's a bonfire going on at a farm in the area, and we headed out there, and we found out they were serving some good food, so that was our dinner plans. At the bonfire they were serving a lovely mushroom stew, and that's what Tegan and I had, and Tegan's mum and Tom was there too, and I also had a mushroom burger. And it was nice just being around people. We caught up with some old friends around the fire. Very wholesome, very warming, and a very nice autumnal feeling. I think for so long I was so anti the winter, anti the cold. Whenever it got to November time, I was itching to leave. And that was definitely the case of when I was living in cities. Those kinds of times of year in the cold really felt very heavy. It felt dark and gloomy. But since being out in the country and reconnecting with nature, I've understood those seasons are very important, and I'm not in as much of a rush to leave anymore. I mean, we can't right now because of the baby, but embracing the winter and being at that bonfire was really nice. It was nice to feel the crisp coldness, wrap up warm with your jumpers on, and Willow is like a little hot water bottle on Tegan. I'm sometimes envious. I want to carry her, and I do sometimes, but she wants to be close to Mama. Anyway, that was a bit of a day in the life, I guess. Try and make it as authentic as you can, but when you're filming, it's like you need to plan your shots and things like that. So it's as real as it can get for filming YouTube videos. But I just want to say, women and mothers, incredible. New families, wow, it's a lot. It's hard work, but it's a beautiful journey. I'm so grateful to be on it, and seeing Willow just in days, she changes and she becomes more alert and she's smiling. It's a beautiful thing, and she's got lots of hair, which many people knew that she would, having seen Tegan and my hair. Not sure who she looks like. I think she's like a nice blend. But thank you for joining us. I know Christmas is coming up. I'm so grateful for all of the comments, all of the congratulations that we've been getting on social media since we announced that Willow is here. I'm always thankful for people that are buying the book through my website. You can get personalized copies, and my mum actually ships them out if you don't know. And if you want one in time for Christmas, there's still time. So click the link in the description box to order a copy of my book, and you can get a personalized one shipped worldwide, alternatively your local bookstore. And I've done my fermentation kit, that's out now if you wanted to get into fermenting. And my new knife with Cato is out, as I mentioned earlier on in the video. It's amazing. There's some nice treats there for you for Christmas. I'll only do high quality stuff. I hope you would know that by now. So like the knife and the kit and the book, that's things that you'll have forever. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be more consistent. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok to get regular updates and regular recipes and mini videos. And I'll see you on here from time to time. Thank you so much. See you soon.